Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal, and you are watching the Mojo Story. Shocking news from Srinagar. Nowgam Police Station, which is on the outskirts of Srinagar, there was a blast in that police station during the night. 9 people were killed. Now you can see on your screen, those are the visuals of that police station. Look at the destruction, the scale of destruction. There are so many cars that have got damaged, and that police station has been razed. Now there was a big quantum of explosives that were kept there, and there was a team of FSL and other officials who were inspecting that big hall of explosives when that explosion happened. It happened at around 11:30 in the night. Uh, and then obviously the rescue operation was started. Now, why is this significant? This is the Nowgam police station. The same police station we started the investigation after Jash posters propped up in that area in October. And that investigation really led to the busting of the terror module, the Faridabad terror module, in which so many doctors have been arrested. It's a multi state terror module that was busted. But the real beginning of that investigation started from this police station. The SHO of that police station and other senior police officers started their investigation. They didn't take that clue lightly, that Jesh poster, and that really led to the series of events which ultimately took the investigating agencies to Al Falah University in Haryana, which was, of course, become the hub of those activities. Dr. Umar, one of the members in that module, drove a car at Red Fort, which exploded and in which 13 people were killed. Now, according to details, Jammu and Kashmir DGP has spoken. He said that it was an accidental blast. Now, he has said that there is no need to speculate about other angles because there are other theories also making around that perhaps it could be a a terrorist act, but the DGP has clarified that it's an accidental blast. But to connect the dots and to make the sense of what's happened, we are today joined by Major General Dhruv Katoch. He joins us now. Welcome to Mojo Story, sir. What is the sense that you get after seeing these series of developments? This is a huge blast, a big haul of explosives that was kept at the police station, and those explosives went off, and that led to the casualties and to the destruction of the police station as well as the vehicles nearby.
Um, Thank you, Zafar. I think this is a very, very sad incident, and my heart goes out to all those people who have lost their lives because, in my view, it was totally unnecessary. Uh, I've heard the statement of the DG Police. I've also read out this. I've also read the statement which has been issued by the MHA, and I'm in total agreement. There is no need to speculate. Something has gone wrong. An accident has taken place, which should not have happened. But having said that, I think there are a few points which I think, which strike me immediately. One, I believe these were the explosives which had been transported to Nogao, which have been recovered in Faridabad. I believe there are reports,
Yes,
the news report that there were 360 kgs of explosives and
right.
other chemicals which were transported from Faridabad to Nogao. Now, the first question is why? I mean, if you have to carry out an investigation, it should be at the site itself. Why do you want to bring it out to Nogam? What does Nogam have to do with it? Do they have the technical expertise? Do they have the facilities? If you are looking at the technical aspect of it, the army is nearby. They have got all the explosive experts, and they could have given appropriate advice as to how to handle this. So, firstly, I think this transportation, I haven't understood why. If there is a reason for it, and if our legal procedures demand it,
Yeah.
then we need to change our legal procedures.
Yeah,
I'll be
perhaps
very
because the source of investigation was Nogam police station, the SHO of that police station, which whose alertness and other senior officials didn't let that clue pass the Jaish Muhammad posters, and that's the reason that all these explosives were brought to the primary
No,
point of investigation. That
this is
could be the
what I'm saying.
legal
If
operator
that
that why these were brought here.
No, you see, even if it is a legal requirement, those requirements need to change. And we cannot use this is a different world we are living in. Why are you transporting explosives? Now, I just want to take your mind back to the very unfortunate Delhi blast. When the car was driving towards a red fort and blasted. I have maintained it was an accidental blast. It was not deliberately done because this compound is unstable. Now, having known it as unstable, and if that was that is what was coming out from there, you these we don't know how these this explosives and chemicals were uh, um, packed earlier. How they were stored earlier, in which circumstances. After that, you have taken them out and moved them again from Haryana all the way back to Srinagar. It is a road move. See the
Absolutely.
see the see the
And sir, it's a long journey, and you
it's a
know
long journey.
Jammu Srinagar highway. There are packs on Jammu Srinagar highway which are bumpy. It is not a normal route. Even if it's
So
a normal route, it's a long distance.
it's a
You have
long.
to
So
transport them on a truck because if there are many hundreds of kgs of explosives, they have to be transported on a truck or some other thing and carry
so
them
now
all the way to this to this police station.
Now, this could have, if it was being carried in the truck, it could have exploded en route. But the point is, where are the explosive experts who were there to give advice? Was advice sought? I think a whole range of questions as to security and legal procedures is going to come out of this because, in my view, something has gone drastically wrong. I'm not saying it is a terrorist attack. No, I totally agree with the Home Ministry and with the DG Police. It is an accident. But I see no reason to have had this accident with all the information and the expertise which is available in India to have even considered shifting it from the source. I'll just give you some points. Like in the army, when we deal with explosives, and if we find something, we destroy most of the time. We destroy it in situ, and there is a procedure for it. Nobody goes very near to that place. In this particular case, once I found out that it's in the Nowgam police station, I went to the Google Earth Maps, and I checked on the images. Now, that police station is not a very big area. It is 10 by 15 meters, right? It is a building, right? And that too, it's a normal buildings which they have, and there is an open space for cars. Now, obviously, if they had had this explosive, they'd have kept it in one of the rooms. And if it was 11:20 in the night or 11:30 in the night, I don't think they were carrying out an examination that time. They may have been resting or sleeping somewhere. I don't know. We don't know. All those details have to come out. So there has been an accidental explosion, and it brings into very serious question how we store explosives, how we handle explosives, how we store them, how we transport them. All these things are going to come out now. But I think after this tragic incident, I hope the appropriate lessons are learned, and we do not repeat such a unnecessary, event again, where casualties are occurring in this manner. Suffer.
You see the screen, you can see the devastation. Look at the amount of destruction that's been caused by this explosion. The building has been razed, the adjacent, in fact I was there at the spot in the morning. I saw there are other buildings in the vicinity. Their glasses have also broken because the impact was so strong. It is, look at these pictures, this amount of destruction that's caused. Now there is another angle. One, that it's a long distance. Two, that there is a temperature difference also. It's extremely cold in the night. It is sub-zero temperature in Srinagar. There are so many factors. It's a very technical subject. I think it should, more serious thought should be made and taken care of when you transport those explosives and when you inspect those explosives, how you store them. It's a small building where they were stored in the outside of the building, on a vehicle where they were stored. There are other vehicles in the vicinity. I think all those things, that SOP has to be followed, which perhaps if that was followed, this could have been avoided.
No, absolutely. I think regardless of anything else, this was an unnecessary accident. One, if you actually see, I mean, you live in that area, so you have seen that place. But I have checked the Google Earth images. You, of course, live there, so you know the exact thing. It is a built-up area. There are houses all around.
Yes.
It is not simply a isolated police station. There's a
Yeah.
police station. Towards the north of it is a little bit of empty space. To the west and east and to the south, it is complete. All houses are there. It is a proper built-up area, and there is no space really there. So in this built-up area, firstly, keeping these explosives, I think, is very, very dangerous. They shouldn't have gone there. But the fundamental point, which I started off earlier, why was it moved from Faridabad in the first place? You see, even if it's the legal requirement, they could have been told it's dangerous. We don't do these things. And I think the we have already got 2,800 or 2,700 kgs of explosive somewhere. The first step which needs to be taken is to see that that is appropriately kept, and there is no living people in that near vicinity. That area has to be isolated. In the military, wherever we keep explosive, that area is kept isolated. It doesn't really matter. And we have got very, very safe explosives which don't go away. Despite that, the area is kept isolated because accidents happen. So
Right.
I think many things have gone wrong here. It is a very, very tragic incident. It should not have happened. It is an accident, yes, but this accident should not have happened. And I do hope that post the investigation, appropriate SOPs are formed so that it never occurs again. And as far as handling of explosives are concerned, you may have the forensics team to check the chemical nature or etc. etc. But how explosives have to be handled, you need an expert there. And you need to take that expert advice as to how explosives are handled. Otherwise, we will have these accidents again.
Right. In fact, the DGP was gave a press conference in the morning at 10 a.m. and he clarified, DGP Nalin Prabhat clarified that it was an accident. Let's hear briefly what he had to say.
During the investigation in FIR number 162 of the year 2025 of PS Nowgam, a huge quantity of explosive substances, chemicals and reagents were also recovered from Faridabad on 9th and 10th of November 25. This recovery, like the rest of the recoveries which we have done, was transported and kept securely in the open area of Police Station Nowgam. As part of the prescribed procedure, the samples of the recovery had to be forwarded for further forensic and chemical examination. On account of the voluminous nature of the recovery, this process was going on for the past 2 days, which means yesterday and day before, by the FSL team. Due to the unstable and sensitive nature of the recovery, the sampling process, the handling was being done with extreme caution, with utmost caution by the FSL team. However, unfortunately, during this course, last night around 11:20 p.m., an accidental explosion has taken place. Any other speculation into the cause of this incident is unnecessary. In this unfortunate incident, 9 people have lost their lives, 1 personnel of SIA, 3 personnel of the FSL team, 2 crime photographers, 2 revenue officials who were basically part of the magistrates team, 1 tailor who was associated with the team. In addition, 27 police personnel, 2 revenue officials, and 3 civilians from the adjacent areas have received injuries. The injured were immediately evacuated to the nearest hospital, where they are being treated as we speak. The building of the police station has been very severely damaged, and even the adjacent buildings have suffered. They have also been affected. The extent of this damage is being ascertained. The cause for this unfortunate incident is being inquired into. J&K Police stands in solidarity with the families of the deceased in this hour of grief. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
General Saab, the DGP didn't take any questions, but what was clear from that press conference that this is not a terror act. Why there were
Yes.
speculation that this is a terrorist incident? Because it is the same police station that's probing the matter that started the investigation. The SHO of that police station and other officials started this investigation. That became a big investigation later on, which all the agencies got involved, and finally this module was busted. So there was a speculation that perhaps this is a terror attack, maybe an IED blast, or maybe something in that police station. That is why this. So the DGP has clarified that there is nothing like that. It was an accident. Now we come to the SOP of handling an explosive of this nature, which is unstable, which is very critical, as the DGP said. Then obviously. Jammu Kashmir police has a lot of experience, but there's still some expertise that need to be get involved in all of this, and an SOP that has to be followed. As you say, it's a densely populated area. Nowgam, there are other big buildings in the vicinity. There are small houses in the vicinity, and that explosion, that huge quantity of explosives, how that was transported and stored there is also a matter of great concern. Now look at the damage. Already 9 people have lost their lives, more than 30 are injured, some of them are critically injured. They have been moved to the hospital. Initially the figure was 7, that figure has risen. It has raised many questions. While on one hand Jammu and Kashmir police was prompt to start this inquiry, but on the other hand, there are problems as far as handling of all of these explosives and other matters concerned.
Yes, you see, there are three things: the storage, the handling, and the transportation of explosives. And in this particular case, it was unstable, as proved by the car bomb. Because in my view, when that car bomber was, when he was actually transporting the explosive and it went off, right? He didn't have a detonator, he didn't have a switch, right? So it went off. And I think, that's about it. So we knew that this is unstable, it can go off. Yet we transported it all the way from Faridabad to Nowgam. Imagine the road move, imagine the bumps, etc. The further instability which would have been caused to the explosive. I think we have gone horribly wrong in those things, right? And if it was a legal requirement, we need to change our laws. We need to, we have to change in our entire legal systems. Why do you have to carry out, bring it back to the original site? This could be done anywhere in the world. Why in Nogam? All that you required was evidence as this is what it is. An expert could give that evidence, and it could give it anyway. In fact, the police officers from Nogam, if required, they should move. Don't move explosives, move people. And this explosive also should have been just a small quantum should have been kept, right? And the rest, in my view, should have been destroyed. And it should have been destroyed under magisterial orders. Okay, we understand. You have kept out a small piece out of this 2,000 kgs. You've kept out 500 grams or 1,000 grams for this thing, and then do what you have to do. I think this entire system, it needs a very, very thorough investigation into how we are doing things. The legal procedure needs to be sorted out. And if this is the legal requirement, then our judicial systems must make those amendments immediately, not tomorrow, not day after. They must make it today and ensure that it doesn't happen again. That means evidence doesn't have to come back to the original source. It could be given anywhere. And if our laws say no, it can't be done, then change those laws. That is what we need to do immediately. Number two, when explosives are being moved, please have an expert on board. You cannot just move explosives and say, okay, we've kept it in a nice truck and nobody's there and we are moving it. There has to be some accountability here. And I think a whole range of procedures as far as the storage, the transportation, and the handling of this particular explosives, it has not been kept in mind, which led to this tragic incident, which is an accident, as very rightly stated by the DG Police of Jammu and Kashmir.
Absolutely, it's an accident. But look at the intensity of this accident. It just shook this entire area. These are the explosion caught on camera. You can see the severity of this blast, the impact of this blast, because it's probably 300 kilos of explosives at one place that's got blasted. It's a big blast that has raised this entire building down. Uh, but tell me, sir, what are the lessons that can be learned from this now here on, and would it impact the ongoing investigations that are taking place?
No, I don't think it should. Very frankly, I don't think it'll impact the ongoing investigation. There's enough explosives available, and you don't require all those explosives anyway. I mean, if we have to physically take the explosive to a courtroom and tell the judge this is the explosive which we found, then there is something wrong with our legal procedures. I think we have to change the systems completely so that the explosive is not moved. They have to be kept in a very safe place. And if somebody says, if the judge says I have to see it physically, well, let the judge go and see it from a distance of 10 meters or 5 meters or so. Even when we destroy explosives in the army, nobody's there. A maximum one person goes, does the. I've done these things myself when I've destroyed blinds, etc. You remove everybody from the area, you go to the site, and then you carry out that destruction. So that if at the worst case, if an accidental detonation takes place, a premature detonation for whatever reason, then there's only one casualty, not so. In this case, there have been multiple casualties. And I think something has gone horribly wrong. So basically, I'm saying, legal procedures, carry out a detailed analysis of what is required to be done and make those amendments right now. Number two, your storage, your handling, and your transportation. I think all these things need to be looked into, especially of these sort of explosives. You see, this is not like RDX or something. RDX is a very stable explosive. We can transport it, nothing will happen. It requires an initiator. Even the PEK or the TNT, they're very stable. So, we don't have to worry about those things. But even there, we take so much precautions. In an unstable explosive of this nature, I think we have to take much greater precautions. And a very, very expensive lesson has been learned. I hope it is never repeated again.
And lastly, sir, it happened at around 11:30 in the night. At that point in time, the procedure was still ongoing in the night. Also the timing has to be kept into consideration. As I was saying, there was a temperature difference also from Haryana to Jammu to Srinagar. In the night, it's sub-zero temperature. All those things can impact these explosives. It
No,
happened in the night.
very frankly, I mean, you see, what's the hurry to do it in the night at midnight at 11:20? 11:20, the explosive took place. So that means they were working throughout the night. Was there some sort of an emergency attached to it? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what happened. What happened inside that police room? Because unfortunately, all the people who are involved, I think, who were immediately where the explosive was, they won't have survived that. So all of them have died, and that is very tragic. So what exactly happened? When did it start? Did they just keep the explosive there and gone back to the room to rest? I think we don't know any of these things. Who else was there? So there are multiple questions, but fundamentally, what I've already told you, I can't change from those fundamentals. And some of the fundamental principles have been violated, and I think we need to look into that, especially the legal requirements as to why was it a legal requirement to shift the explosive all the way from Faridabad to Nowgam, which is just a small little place, which as it is doesn't have the facilities. We could have done it in a totally different way and change the laws to make it applicable for cases of this nature.
Right. We hope that lessons are learned from this tragedy, and in the future, all those things will be kept in mind. But clearly, a big tragedy, 9 lives lost, more than 30 people injured in that accidental blast. Thanks so much, General Katoch, for joining us, and thanks to our viewers for tuning in and for watching the Mojo Story. Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.